The delegate from Prince William, Delegate Carroll Foy.
Mr. Speaker, I rise for a point of personal privilege.
Delegate has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, many would be surprised to know that as recent as 1996, women were not able to attend any and all colleges that they wanted to in the Commonwealth of Virginia. I realized this fact when I was sitting in my high school classroom, and I was in my JROTC class, one of the only women in that class, and we were watching the Virginia Military Institute decision on TV. It was in that moment that I realized that Virginia Military Institute, one of the top military colleges in the United States, one of the only institutes of higher learning that has the highest dropout rate of any college in the country, and that is not by accident, but by design, had spent millions of dollars to keep women out of its doors. And in that class, many of my fellow classmates, mostly male, had justifications such as, well, it's a well-known fact that women are biologically inferior to men, physically and intellectually. And that was not the place for a woman to be. And it was in that moment that I remember hearing Justice Ginsburg say, and I'm paraphrasing, that women can do all things if given the opportunity. And I stood up and I proclaimed that that was fact, and that I was just as powerful and capable and smart as any man in that room. And all of the men got up and protested. And my best friend, who was gonna go to West Point, he walked up to me and he said, I'm gonna go to VMI with you because I want to be there to watch you when you fail. And that was his truth. That's what he believed. And so he went to VMI with me, along with another male cadet. And when they got their head shaved bald, so did I. When they put on a man's uniform, I put on a man's uniform. And I marched and sweat and bled beside the hundreds of other male cadets. I stand before you now to say that I am proud that out of the other two male cadets to go, that I am the only one to walk across that Virginia Military Institute stage. It is something I'm very proud of. And so when people ask me, why am I carrying the Equal Rights Amendment? That is why. I understand sex discrimination. It's all too familiar to me. And when people say things such as, well, look where you are now, I say, well, look at things such as the Violence Against Women's Act. It is an act that was created to protect and help women who are victims of domestic and sexual violence. And do you know what happened to that act? It expired less than a month ago. That is the problem. When my rights as a woman is dependent upon laws, because laws can change as quickly as legislators change their minds. And Supreme Court decisions that allowed me to go to college can always be reversed. But when you enshrine my constitutional rights as a human being equal to men, well, that is the only thing that's acceptable, because amendments do not expire. I've also been told that we have laws on the books. We have the 5th and the 14th Amendment. But I will close with this. Justice Scalia of the United States Supreme Court was unequivocal and very clear He was asked specifically if the Constitution protects women against sex discrimination. And he says, and I quote, "The Constitution does not require discrimination on the basis of sex. The only issue is whether it prohibits it. It does not." 81% of Virginians have recently reported that they want the Equal Rights Amendment to be ratified here in Virginia. Now the question is, will we listen? The message is clear. Equality should be for everyone. And I'm here to protest to all of you that everyone should be for equality. Thank you.